So, space colonization is going to be by far the greatest project of humanity. It's like we are living in this little speck in the universe, and then humanity is going to colonize space, and it's going to start from this little speck and it'll expand. It'll first expand throughout our solar system, you know, hundreds of thousands of trillions of humans in the solar system. Next, our galaxy, and finally, other galaxies. Okay. So, one thing you have to remember about this whole thing about space colonization is that normally humans conceive of projects which they can complete in their lifetimes. You don't really like people don't start like can't think of any project where any engineering project where they said, okay, this is going to take us 200 years to finish, or this is going to take us thousands of years to finish. Normally, you think that, okay, if I'm going to start a project, I want it done around 30, 40 years. Now, space colonization is not going to happen in 30, 40 years. It's going to take a lot longer. However, what we can do is we can break it up into smaller parts and we can see progress. So let us look at where we are with this space colonization. Now, there are two aspects of space colonization. One is, social psychological, the very desire to colonize space, and that is discussed in the first part of the book. The next is the engineering issues, the science issues, and so here I am talking about the science issues, and I want to talk about in this video, where are we? Are we making progress? And if you look at what has happened, there was like these great advancements about 50, 70 years ago. Gagarin went to space. Armstrong walked on the moon. So there was a lot of stuff which was happening. But since then, not much has really happened. I mean, you kind of look like what have we done? And there's a lot of money being spent. If you look at the budgets of all the space agencies around the world over the last 50 years, it's over $1 trillion. Right? And what have we got in return? Well, there have been some kind of like the space shuttle was quite exciting. And it's almost 50 years since that happened because it was the first reusable spacecraft, right? Then there was an International Space Station, which is also quite exciting because people were just living there. And then we had, the Viking, and from the Mariner, Mangalyaan, Hope, Tianwen, and there are numerous missions to asteroids and dwarf planets. And in the recent times, the one big advancement really has been reusable space rockets. And this is very significant because it's the obvious thing to do. If you really want to really have transport to and from space, then you need something reusable. You don't want to like just use a rocket which is you fire once and it's gone forever, right? And so this has been done by SpaceX, so that's a big advance. But however, if you are talking about how closer are we to the big prize? And the big prize is human space colonization. How close are we to the big prize? I won't say that the last 50 years we've made really much progress. Now, I kind of think that human space colonization is the goal. And for this goal, how are we going to, what are the things that we need to do? Things like sending a spacecraft outside the solar system is significant. I mean, the reusable rockets are, that's a real advancement. Even when it comes to colonizing space, that's a real advancement. And however, what we should do is that we need to understand what the goal is and what are the steps which are going to get us there. And the goal is really the construction of space habitations. So what is required for this goal? Well, the first will be technology for acquisition of raw materials in space. We need to develop the science and the equipment for that. Technology for self-replicating manufacturing units in space, because if you want exponential growth, you don't want to ship everything from Earth. You want to have the manufacturing units in space which can produce more manufacturing units, which can produce the things that you require. So we need some sort of self-replication so that you can have exponential growth. So we need to develop the technology for that. And of course, the design of a space habitation, which includes a complete closed ecosystem capable of supporting human life. Also, agriculture, food is the issue. How to have food developed for, how to have develop plants which will survive in space and provide us food. So these are the three directions in which our investment in space should be focused.